Hello and welcome to the Lesbian Lounge, a podcast for the girls who like girls. I'm your host and your resident lesbian big sister, Juliet Taylor, and I'm here to answer your guys' questions, give advice on your dilemmas, and of course, chat about your wildest lesbian dating stories. So grab a drink, get comfy, and welcome into the Lesbian Lounge. Welcome back, everybody. I'm thrilled to be in your ears or on your TV, or how else could you be viewing me? I feel like that's really the only way, isn't it? Like, I could be in your ears, on your AirPods, on your radio, in your car, on your TV if you're watching on YouTube, on your laptop, on your phone. I'm thrilled to be with you all today. Thank you for having my company. Thank you for being my company on this fine Thursday. How are we all? Are we all having a nice Thursday? What's going on in our lives? Anyone doing anything exciting? Do let me know. Love it when you guys actually tell me where you're listening from and what you're doing when you're listening. It makes me really excited. Someone sent us a picture of them listening in their car the other week and I was like, oh my God. I've spoke about this before. My brain somehow convinces me that the majority of you guys are robots and people don't actually listen to the podcast, even though there's physical numbers that tell me I have. We're so close to 12.5k as well. Feels like we literally just hit 10k and now we're at 12.5k. Blows my mind. That just reminded me, guys, I actually did a podcast workshop a couple of weeks ago. It was a day for different businesses in the Northeast to come together and basically learn. It was all about content creation, which obviously was really helpful with me starting out the Cherry Content Co. And there was a whole segment on podcasts and, producing them. It was more targeted to people who don't have a podcast already, people who are taking the steps to get one. So there was a few things that I sort of already knew, but it was really helpful just sort of speaking through the process. And I was speaking to the people who were running it, and obviously they were interested to know about the podcast, about me already having one. And I told them, and I was like, yeah, we've just hit 12k downloads. And they were like, really? And I was like, yeah, I know it's not a huge number, but I'm really proud of it. And they were like, no, that's incredible. Because they're podcast managers. They have a studio where, people come in and the person like me, I would come and do the podcast and they would deal with everything else. Whereas obviously I do it. I am my team. So they're a podcast team, and they were like, we have podcasts that have been going for years and still haven't reached over a couple of thousand. They were like, the fact that you're doing it all on your own, you produce it, you edit it, you publicize it, you don't I don't pay for advertising for the podcast. I do it all off my own back. They were like, that is incredible. So I was already proud of myself for the milestones I've reached with this podcast, but to get that validation from people who know and understand podcasts, I got quite emotional after it, to be fair, because I just thought what I have done, I've come from nothing. I have a following of somewhat on social media, but not a big following. Come from basically nothing, had this idea to make the podcast. I was speaking to someone the other day and they were like, what was it that made you start this podcast? And for me, it was, I've always loved talking. I've always loved using my voice and, speaking up. I'm a very outgoing person, I'm an extrovert. I love to talk and I'd always wanted a podcast, but for me, it was always, what would I talk about? And then I listened to the Girls Bathroom podcast a lot. Obviously, it's a very similar vibe, the dilemmas, questions of the week, but it's very straight. It's very, my boyfriend did this, I'm talking to this boy. And I was like, hang on, there is such a gap in the market for this, for the lesbians. I've always been someone who, enjoys giving advice. Obviously, I enjoy having a platform and putting myself out there on social media. And I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to do it. Let's go for it. Let's see what happens. And I have always kind of been someone, I put out this persona that I don't care what people think of me, but deep down I do. If someone says something nasty, it does affect me, it does get to me. I try not to let it, but that's normal, isn't it? And I was worried, what will people say? Will people just think it's weird? Will people actually listen? Will people just listen to laugh and make fun of me? And then I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go in with this complete I don't care mindset and I'm just going to do it. Why not try, see what happens? And what has come from me just taking that leap. I filmed the first episode, I was dog sitting. I was filming it in someone else's living room with a little TikTok shop microphone on my laptop. I filmed a couple of TikTok clips on my phone, didn't film it with the proper camera setup, and just went for it and published it. Messaged Priya from I Kissed a Girl, thought, hey, do you want to come on the podcast? She said yes. And then it just kept going and getting more and more listeners. And then had the amount of messages I get from people saying that they love the podcast, people wanting to come on the podcast. It's just blown up into this incredible community. The people I've met because of the podcast I wouldn't be where I am without having started the podcast, because if I hadn't have started the podcast, I wouldn't have had the courage to organise my first lesbian meetup in the Northeast, which means I wouldn't have met some of my best friends who gave me the courage to leave my last relationship. That makes it sound like I was in a really bad toxic relationship. I wasn't. But, you know, like I was just too comfortable in that relationship and didn't want to leave, because I thought the easier thing to do was to stay. But they gave me the courage and the push to be like, no, we both deserve better than the relationship that we're in. They gave me the courage to do that. And I just never would have really then found the confidence within myself. Like, I used to be such a scared person to say the word like lesbian around other people, or say I'm gay, I've got a girlfriend, or whatever it was. And I was getting my hair done this morning and I mentioned the fact that I was a lesbian. And I just thought, if you told me a year ago that I would just comfortably tell somebody that, like, say I'm around someone, I think, you look gay, you look like a lesbian, like, I'll comfortably say it. Like, when I was at this podcast day, there was so many, like, older women. I was so embarrassed when they're like, what's your business? And I was like, the Lesbian Lounge. Like, I mean, I wasn't embarrassed, but, you know, you do just get that, like, especially as a very femme-presenting girly, you do get the, like, looks of, like, Lesbian Lounge. But again, like, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to be that femme lesbian representation that we don't see in the media. Like, I'm here, I'm queer. Yeah, like, for me, having the courage to say that in front of somebody that didn't look like a safe person for me, not like they look like a horrible person, but, you know, you have, like, safe people that, you know, if I say I'm a lesbian, it's going to be like water off a duck's back. They're not going to have any thoughts on that. But there's some people, when they look very straight, you know, I don't know, maybe it's just me and who I am and the experiences I've gone through. But I was just really proud of myself to, you know, just outright say it and not feel worried about, like, what they might say. And then it was a lovely conversation, like, you know, so there was nothing to be scared of. But I'm just so proud of what this podcast has become, and I have such big plans for it. Like, it's not ever going anywhere. Like, it's going to be here. We're going to continue to grow. And I've said it so many times, but I'll say it again. Like, I'm enjoying the journey. Like, we literally started from nothing. Like, I get all the dilemmas sent in. Like, I'm currently in a bit of a dry patch, so I need you guys to help me out and send them in, please, please, please. But, like, I put in the work. Like, I've been there where I've been like, I don't know if I can do it this week. I don't have enough dilemmas, but I've pushed through and I've still given you guys content. Like, we are building this community together. I didn't want it handed to me on a silver platter going, oh, here's a podcast with 1 million listeners and it's going to earn you thousands of pounds through ads. Like, I'm quite enjoying putting in the work and building it all myself. Like, don't get me wrong, there's been hard times with, like, setting up the new camera and the memory card issues when I filmed full episodes, and then the memory card's just, like, gone kapoof on me and I've lost a full episode. We had the whole issues with the microphone when, like, I'd bought this new microphone and it actually wasn't working. And then one time I filmed an episode in, like, 2.5 speed and I couldn't get it back to normal. Like, there's been issues. It hasn't always been easy. You know, we haven't always had a studio. Some episodes I've filmed in my house. I remember, I'm thinking back to one episode, I filmed at, like, 11 o'clock at night in my living room, and I had to be really quiet filming it because my parents were asleep. So I remember, like, I was probably doing the podcast talking like this. And, you know, the fact that you guys have stuck with me through, like, I mean, I don't think I can even listen back to the first few episodes because I probably get really cringed out. Obviously, we had the old name, the old, like, ways we spoke, and I don't know. But again, I thought, I don't want to ever delete those. I want them to be there so that if people listen from episode 1 up to now, I think we're on 62 now. Like, what the hell? That's crazy. And I also saw a statistic that something like 75% of podcasts don't make it past episode 8. And here we are at episode 62. Like, we've pushed through. We have created this. We have done it ourselves. What was the point? I always do this, don't I? That's what I need to get better at, making points. But yeah, you know, having episode 1 and then coming to where we are now, like, seeing the progression, I'm really proud of that, and just really grateful that you guys have stuck around and listened. And obviously I've said it since day one. If 2 people listened, if the only person who listened was my mum, I would still do it because I love creating content. I love putting it out there. But the fact that there are nearly 12,500 of you in this community, like, actually, everyone just deep that for a second. 12,500 people. And I'm not even going to be like, I know that's a small number to some. Like, I'm proud of that. For us and what we've created, I think that's fucking incredible. And I'm really proud of myself. And yeah, just thank you to you guys for being here, sticking around, for listening, for coming to the events, for coming up and telling me that you listen to the podcast. Like, I literally fangirl myself when people come up to me and they're like, oh my God, I love the podcast. And I'm like, ah! Like, it makes me so excited that you guys actually listen. So yeah, that was a long-winded introduction to me, just basically telling you all how proud I am and how grateful I am to have such an incredible group of listeners and a little community. So thank you all so much for being here. I'm trying to think if I have anything cool to update you guys on. I am in real time when I'm filming. I'm off on my little trip tomorrow. Obviously, I still can't tell you what I'm going for, but I'm off on my trip. I've been shoe shopping today because I needed a new pair of shoes for my trip, basically. So I was like, yeah, I can justify going and buying new shoes because I never really buy myself new shoes. I say that literally within the space of the past month. I bought some new trainers. I bought some new Uggs. I'm showing you them now. And I've just bought some new trainers, like some not like, like running trainers. I bought some gym trainers, bought my Uggs now. I've got some like sort of going out trainers. But I thought, I'm going away. Like, I deserve to treat myself. And it was my birthday. I had birthday money to spend. So it's all good. So yeah, going off on my trip, which I'm really, really, really excited for. And I just can't wait to tell you all about it, even though it's probably not going to be for a while. But trust me, like, keep your ears pricked because it's going to be good. Any other updates? We had Let's Be Honest on Friday. I told you all it was Saturday. It was definitely on Friday. But it was so much fun. So if you haven't seen, I was a sexy police officer, had my knee-high boots on, my fishnet ties, my little police, it was more kind of like a leotard, to be fair. And to get into town, I thought, let's just protect myself. So I put like a big coat on, and it was so funny. Literally, from getting out the Uber to walking to Freaky Tiki, some man came up to me, put his hands together as if being like, handcuff me, and he just went, please. I just thought it was so funny, and I was like, yo, I'm a lesbian. No. And then there was another man, because some of us had come outside at one point. I was coming out to film some content, actually. And some man was like, oh, you look amazing. I was like, oh, thanks. And he's like, what are you guys doing? And I was like, oh, it's a lesbian Halloween party. And I just thought, like, how iconic are we? Like, because it was the 10th of October. Like, no one else was really Halloween-y in town. There was a few Oktoberfest people, but it was, the lesbians were there in their sexy costumes. Everyone looked fit. Like, it was just so fun. And I loved seeing everybody. My besties came. Like, I love everybody in a lesbian community, but some of the girls that I met at my very first event, they've literally stuck through me, through breakups, through relationships, through more breakups, through everything. And I just genuinely like love them all. So shout out Chloe and Kareen, Tanya and Alicia, Jess, Meg, Natalie, like all of you are brilliant. I probably missed off names there, so I'm so sorry, but genuinely, like, you're all great. Mel and Shah, like just everyone in our community is incredible. And how lucky are we to have such a big group of lesers in Newcastle? Do you know what I mean? Like, I fucking love it. But yeah, it was mint, the event. We had so much fun. We had like Thorn, she was doing like a little striptease dance. There was tarot readings going on. What else was there? Was so much. We did the scavenger hunt. We brought back the lesbian scavenger hunt, which was so much fun. So I think the only thing I changed from, because we obviously run at our first event, so there's like your typical find someone who's in a situationship, find someone who's in love with their ex, find someone who met their girlfriend on Tinder, find someone in a relationship with someone 3+ years older, find someone who moved in 1 month after dating, like fun little lesbian quirks. And then I added find a couple in a couple's costume. So there was loads of cute couples dressed up, loved it. One of my favourite ones was Annie and Becca. Shout out Annie and Becca. They were dressed, so Annie was like in a shirt and jeans maybe, and Becca was in like a cute little shirt and skirt. So they were just sort of like waiter and waitress, and they had a tray and they were serving cunt. I thought that is so fucking iconic. So their couple's costume was serving cunt, and they were serving it on their tray. I just thought that was absolutely fucking hilarious. So yeah, everyone just had like a gay little time, dancing, singing Chapel Roan, Renee Rapp, like all the good tunes were on. There was a drag queen hosting. Where was I? I was at the scavenger hunt. Yeah, we did the scavenger hunt. The winner won a vibrator, and the winner was my bestie Chloe, who won it at my first event as well. So she is the scavenger hunt queen. If Chloe's around, you know, you've got to be quick, because that girl loves a scavenger hunt. She loves winning a prize. She's a competitive girly. So you have to be quick if you're going against Chloe. So she won a vibrator, which she was very excited about. We just had a lovely night, and we did some interviews with some of the lesbians. So stay tuned for our question of the week, because that is going to provide the content for our question of the week. And then the next morning, so Lesbian is finished. We went out for some drinks at Rusty's. And then I am up at 8 a.m. the next morning to drive to Alton Towers. So your girl was tired, but I was driving down with my mum, so she did the full journey because she's a babe. So I had a little nap, and then we spent the weekend in Alton Towers. So we did the Scarefest. I went on quite a few rides. I was quite proud of myself. Even though some of these rides, guys, let me tell you, it's no fucking Disney. Like, it's frightening. Like, the theming of these rides. I went on this, like, ghost train thinking it might be like Haunted Mansion. Holy fuck, I'm still thinking about this creepy little child called Ellie in my sleep. Like, I didn't even open my eyes because I was so fucking scared. And it's like, I'm behind you. Like, oh, it was fucking awful. And we went with our dance school, so we had loads of kids there performing. And these kids are going on this ride. I'm thinking, oh my God, these kids are going to be traumatized if I was traumatized. But we went on like the Wicker Man, 13, which was quite creepy. It was like, if you go down to the woods today, you better not go alone. And it was like, oh, honestly, like the drop going backwards. What else did we go on? The spin ball. Mum did Smiler. I did not do Smiler. I was like, 14 loops is not for me. I don't like going upside down. So for me, if a ride has a lap bar, I know I'm safe. If it's over the head, freak out time. So we spent the weekend in Alton Towers. The kids did a little performance on the Sunday morning, went back into the park. Then we drove home. Life's just honestly crazy at the minute. So obviously we had that, and then off away tomorrow, and then get back. And then on the weekend, next weekend, 25th of October, I'm going to Manchester. Then the weekend after, I'm going to Glasgow. Like, I'm just here, there, and everywhere at the minute. But I love it. I love keeping busy and doing new things, going to new places, exploring new things. And obviously all these new places I get to go means I get to create some content, which is good promo for Cherry Content Co. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else really to update you all on. So without further ado, let's jump straight on into this week's episode. So this week's question of the week is, what is your type? And we asked this question of the week to some of the lesbians who came to join us at Lesbian. So I'm going to insert the clip right here.
Hi everyone, it's the Lesbian Lounge and Lesbian, and we're here asking everybody what their type is. What's your name? Julia. And what's your type? Small, blonde, classic mask. Okay, what's your name? Georgia. And what's your type? A brunette with pretty eyes. Nice. Okay, I'm now here with Natalie. And what's your type? Femme from my darlings. Okay, what's your name? Tanya. What's your type? Probably straight forever. Okay, what's your name? And what's your type? What's your name? What's your type? What type of type? Blonde, tattoos, short. What's your name? Jasmine. And what is your type? Women who hate me. Okay, what's your name? Casey. And what's your type? Blonde, brown, tattoos, pink. Fem's mask. No bones. Okay, what's your name? And what's your type? Femme. Like that one over there? That one right there, my little red raincoat. Okay, what is your name? Haley. And what is your type? I like a big girl with big titties. So, what is your name? Annabelle. And what is your type? Femme. Expand, please.
I look at the colour that even them. It's like Natalie says, like, I'll let them top it.
Nice. So if it's on Femme, you'll top you?
Yeah, definitely.
What's your name?
My name's Jessica.
And what is your type?
Femmes, Dom Femmes specifically, would tell me what to do. Could it be it?
Good, fuck off over there.
Megan,
And what's your type?
mask on mask.
What type of mask are we after?
Anything with a mask energy. I mean,
Okay, I hope we all enjoyed hearing what the lesbians' types were. I hope you guys can hear it okay, because the audio wasn't great. We didn't have any microphones, but if you're a visual listener, I'll have put the video up with the captions as well, which I hand wrote those captions out because TikTok wouldn't pick, not CapCut wouldn't pick them all up, so I literally hand wrote out the captions and personally inputted them. But yeah, someone actually said not enough love going on for the masks, because a lot of it was femmes. There wasn't a lot of love for masks, I think, apart from me. I'm obviously a femme lesbian who loves a mask lesbian. I don't think I could ever go for another femme. I know some people, obviously, we had Megan there who's mask for mask. We had Natalie in there who's femme for femme. I don't know, like, I just don't think it's for me. I mean, I would never say never, but I don't think it would work. I think I'm definitely short, blonde, tattooed, mask. They are for me. But oh my God, guys. So when I was doing the captions, when like AI was generating them, it like generated my caption to short, blonde, tattoo man. And I literally screamed at my phone, and my mum was like, what's wrong? And I was like, it's saying I fancy men, because that is not the case. Mask, not man. Definitely not man. Definitely not men. Ew. Go away, men. Definitely mask. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed. Let us know who your type is in the comments below, and shall we jump into some dilemmas? Okay, let's bring up the dilemmas, guys. I've got some really sad news as well. My favourite phone case broke, so we're here with a new phone case, but it's a little disco cherry one. We've worn this one before, just I preferred my other one, but it's matching the cherry content code. It's giving podcasts, so let's jump into some dilemmas. I met this girl, and she is absolutely perfect. Really my type, and we have the best convos. The only problem is she is closeted. And she's also getting an arranged marriage to a man. Oh God. I didn't think I would catch feelings, but here I am. Yeah, like I feel like I would struggle to potentially catch feelings for that person, knowing like you're literally getting married to a man. Obviously it's arranged, so she doesn't want that. I'm assuming maybe that's like a family religious thing. Yeah, I guess it would be hard to catch feelings knowing that that person is going through with that and has to go through with that and doesn't really get a choice. Let's see. I feel bad that she was unlucky to be born into a family that's not accepting of her. I know that can't be easy. She wants me to stick around, even when she's married, because she doesn't care about him, but she will definitely have kids with him soon, as it's her culture. What should I do? Do I be the side chick, or do I just be brave and walk away? Wow. I feel like we've never had anything like this before. I mean, obviously, yeah, it's such a shame that this girl has been, you know, born into a family that aren't accepting of her, and, you know, obviously the culture is, you know, they find you a perfect suited man and they marry you off to him and you have kids and you have this perfect family, but, you know, behind closed doors, that's not going to be a perfect family. Maybe to the world they're going to show up as that, but to her, she knows she doesn't want to be with this man. She wants to be with a woman. And I mean, the poor man that she's marrying, you know, he's getting into a relationship with someone who doesn't want to be in a relationship with him. So it's going to be hard, and there's going to be issues. I mean, it's very personal to you, I guess. How strong are your feelings for this girl? Do you feel like you need to be there for her to help her through this new like era of her life and be like, you know, I know you're going to have kids with this man and present as in love with this man, but I'm going to be here for you to have that real love and connection? Or are you going to get jealous? You know, because you're not going to be able to be out publicly. Nothing can go on social media. Even potentially going out in public together, she's going to be worried about her family or her husband's family or somebody seeing you with the girl. And I guess you have to think, are you comfortable with that? Are you happy, like you said, being the side chick and being someone she's going to ultimately hide away and not show off at all? For me, I think I would, as hard as it is, I would just walk away. And, you know, I do feel really sorry for this girl that she's stuck in the situation that she obviously can't get out of. And, you know, you're probably her lifeline and her light at the end of the tunnel, thinking, if I have her, I can get through the shit times because I know I have her. But for you, are you willing to accept becoming the side chick and not really ever being able to have the life that you want with her, because you're never going to be able to get married unless she and this man divorce? I honestly, I don't know. For me, I think I'd be walking away, as hard as it might be, you know, because I get it, you're going to feel sorry for her because you're going to want to be there for her through it all. But unfortunately, you know, sometimes life deals us a shitty deck of cards and you have to put yourself first and, you know, think, do you want to be with someone who's going to post you on their Instagram and who's going to take you out on dates and not be embarrassed to, not even like she's embarrassed, but, you know, she physically can't show you off because she's going to be married to a man. And then she's going to go through this whole pregnancy. And I don't know if that's something I personally would want to be getting involved with. I think at the point you're at now, it's probably best just to walk away. And you never know, in a couple of years' time, she might decide to divorce this man and completely cut contact with her family and go, you know what, you don't accept me for who I am. This is who I am. I'm going to go off and live my life. And if you don't want to accept that, then fuck you. I'm not being a part of your family. And maybe then she'll come back to you and she'll realise that, you know, you were meant to be together all along. But I think for now, the best thing to probably do is just to walk away. As hard as it's going to be fucking shit. It's going to be horrible. Maybe try and stay in her life as a friend if you think your feelings can allow that. But I think for your own mental health, you need to walk away and put yourself first. Okay, moving on. I'm having a second date with a girl, and I think something will happen in the bedroom when she comes back to mine. But I've never actually done it with a girl before. Any tips or advice? Well, luckily for you, a few weeks back, we had our Lesbian Sex hotline episode where we basically ran through lesbian sex, scissoring, squirting, all those good things. But, I mean, most important advice, I think I always say, understand you and your body, understand what you like, so you can tell this girl what you like. Potentially, she might have had experience in the bedroom, so she's going to take control. But if you both have never done it with a girl before, it's going to be figuring things out together. And I think the most important thing always, just don't put pressure on it. Don't like big up in your mind this like incredible sex. I mean, it's going to be fucking good because it's with a woman. And women, they just know. It's just, it hits different. But don't big it up that it's going to be this incredible thing and it's just going to happen and it's just going to flow. Because if you both don't know what you're doing, you're going to need to communicate. You're going to need to talk. You're going to need to be like, oh, not there. Like, what about this? What about this position? Why don't we try this? Like, you're going to want to explore it together and just be willing to explore, be willing to communicate, be willing to be told, oh, that doesn't feel so good. Try it like this. Like, don't take corrections. Don't take corrections as criticism. Take them literally as chances to learn and understand the person you're with more because, and again, on the flip side to that, don't be afraid to speak up because if you just allow the sex, you think, yeah, it was a bit shit, like she didn't really make me feel good, I didn't come, like she's gonna maybe then, but say you pretend like you fake an orgasm, I don't know, she's gonna then think, oh, I did amazing, and she's gonna do it like that every time. So tell her what you like, what feels good, what doesn't feel good, so she can make the sex feel good, so when you continue to have sex, if that's the case, you don't have to worry that like it's gonna always be like this sort of shitty sex because you didn't just speak up on the first date and say, why I really don't like it when you put 3 fingers inside of me, can we just stick to 2? Do you know what I mean? Like, just be open, be honest, be willing to have a good time. But if you understand what you like on your body, then you can tell that to her. And like, you know, maybe discuss like what you're both comfortable with. Are you comfortable going down on someone? Are you comfortable someone going down on you? Are you comfortable trying the strap? Like, just take things as it comes. But I think you'll be fine and just enjoy it. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Maybe on the day, have a couple of drinks. You don't obviously be blacked out, but bit of liquid courage never goes amiss. Good luck and keep us updated. We'd love to know how it goes. Okay, moving on. I went out on a first date with a girl and we went out for some cocktails. We were having a nice time and then she comes up with the fact that she's bi-curious. She still ate me out though. I love that. And then after a few more drinks, she tells me she's pregnant. What the hell? With a guy from her work. He was the one picking her up at the end of the night. Make it make sense. Okay, I need to read that again, I think, to digest that. So, we went on a first date with the girl. We had some cocktails. We had a nice time. She tells you she's bi-curious. So I guess really that means I'm straight, I'm experimenting with you. You know them girls that are like, I'm only gay for you. She's bi-curious, even though when you got back to the bedroom, she ate you out. So, you know, it's giving gay. It's giving, I just ate your fucking pussy. After a few more drinks, she opens up and goes, just want to let you know, I'm pregnant with a guy who's picking me up. So, oh, by the way, the baby daddy's picking me up tonight. I mean, she hasn't obviously said she's pregnant with a boyfriend. She's pregnant with a fiance, with a husband. Maybe, you know, it was a mistake. Maybe they had a drunk night together. They slept together. They got pregnant. They thought, fuck it, like, let's just make this work. Let's have a baby. You know, I think that could work. Obviously, it would be a completely different story if they were engaged or married or even in a relationship, but it seems like maybe they're not. So maybe it was just a drunk mistake, and, you know, she's bi-curious, she came out on this date with you, ate you out, thought, yeah, fuck, that was unreal. But again, it's kind of like that girl before. Are you comfortable getting in a relationship with someone who's like going to be pregnant with a man and be seeing this man and have this man in their life, even if they're not in a relationship? Like, it's what you're comfortable with getting yourself into. Or was she quite literally just bi-curious, wanted to see what it was like to eat a pussy, to have her pussy licked, and then thought, yeah, you know what, I'm going to go back to him. Who knows? You said make it make sense. I don't think I can make it make sense. I think there's some people out there who are just a little bit on the wild side and want to give everything a go. But, you know, it is what it is. It was a first date. You don't have to go on a second date if you don't want to, or if you really liked her and you thought, yeah, you know what, fuck it, let's get in on this. Maybe you're going to be like 2 mums and a dad in this kid's family. But yeah, just go with the flow, enjoy life. If you're one of them people who doesn't need full-term commitment from someone, you don't need to be in like a full-on relationship and you're happy just sleeping around, then fuck it, like enjoy yourself. But if you're someone who wants that commitment, who wants to be like solely, have someone like solely dedicate themselves to you, then for you, obviously, you're not going to want to be with someone who's going to be seeing this baby daddy all the time. So do what's best for you. Go on a second date, don't go on a second date. But I mean, at least you've got a fun story to tell people. Okay, shall we do another dilemma? Here we go. I came out when I was 16 and was very out and proud. I was then in a relationship with a boy for 2 years. Okay, so we came out, we were really out and proud, and then we got in a relationship with the boy. Each to their own. So we've only just come out of the relationship with that boy, I understand. And I feel like I'm starting from scratch all over again. I've completely lost my queer and I have no idea how to talk to girls or date them now that I'm in my 20s. How do you know when a girl is flirting with you or just being friendly? How do you flirt with girls without it coming across as just friendly? And when I'm flirting, how do I take it to the next step? You have got this. Like, I believe in you. I think with girl on girl, it is hard, isn't it? Especially if maybe, you know, you present more femininely and you don't necessarily have that gay look. So confidence says it all. I was talking about this to someone at Lesbionist, and I was like, say I'd like been giving you the eyes all night, like, would you come up and talk to me? Or would you, obviously that was a lesbian event, I guess, so it's different because you know everyone there is a lesbian. But what I was sort of told is, it's the eye contact, it's the confidence. If you are the femme, you know, the mask chances are, if they're into femmes, they've already spotted you, but they might be thinking, say just out in a normal club, they might be looking, thinking, oh my God, she's fucking stunning, but she's definitely into boys. So showing that you're not into boys, that, you know, if a man comes and tries to give you attention, like instantly shutting it down and not looking like you're seeking that male validation. You know, there's a lot of girls on nights out, they'll be like, around the men, like, don't be one of those girls. Like, be giving that girl eye contact and be confident in yourself and your flirting abilities. Like, you know, like, even take the first step and walk over to them. Like, especially if you can tell they're definitely gay, like, go up to them and be like, you know, compliment them on something. But I'm gonna love your messy low bun. I love your tattoos. I love your trainers. I don't know. Like, take that first step, have that confidence, because that's then going to show to them, okay, she's interested, and then, you know, they can take over the flirting for a bit. But, you know, having that confidence, making that eye contact, and I think, like, the flirty to friendly side of things, again, like, you compliment your friends, but compliment something that maybe you wouldn't compliment a friend on. Obviously, like, style and attractiveness and things like that, it's hard to have that balance, but maybe you compliment their style, like, oh my God, I love this style, like, I love me a masked girl. Like, you wouldn't say that to a friend. Like, just have the confidence. They might then turn around and be like, oh, I've got a girlfriend. You're like, okay, sorry. But, like, you know, be like, oh my God, I love, like, the massa, the messy bun. Like, it's so my type. That is then outright saying, I fancy you. I don't want to be your friend. Do you know what I mean? Like, put yourself out there. Literally, worst thing that can happen is they're either not into you or they have a girlfriend, or turns out they're straight and just dress very masculine. I don't know. But put yourself out there. I think on the return from the friendly, flirty, again, like, how close are they getting to you? Are they, like, leaning in towards you? Like, I feel like you can, it's energy, isn't it? You can feel energy a lot of the time, and it's hard to think about feeling energy, but you just know in the moment, you can feel the energy if someone's flirting with you or if it's genuinely just a friendly thing. And again, if you're not sure, ask them. Like, say they're complimenting you, be like, are you flirting with me? Like, again, they might be like, would you have a problem if I was? And you can be like, absolutely not, like, you're so my type. And then boom, you're kissing, boom, you've gone back to her house, boom, you've had sex, boom, you're in a relationship, boom, you've moved in, you bought a cat, you're married. Even though last week I told you all not to move too fast and to take things slow. So take things slow still. But I think you've got this. Like, just confidence, energy, believe in yourself, and, you know, get to some gay bars. Like, you feel like you may be losing your queerness a bit. Put yourself out there, like, get to some lesbian events, find some lesbian friends, surround yourself with the people that you know, they say, like, your vibe attracts your tribe, and then, like, your tribe will help your vibe. Like, if you're surrounding yourself with really confident, outgoing lesbians, that's going to reflect onto you, and you're going to gain a bit of that confidence. And, you know, maybe being out with a very obviously queer group might help with the flirting, because it's going to be obvious that you're part of that group for a reason, because you're also queer, you're also gay, you also like the pussy and the titties. Okay? I feel like that is a nice little place to wrap up this week's episode. So thank you guys so much for listening. Like I said at the start of the episode, please, please, please head to our Google form in the description, or it's in our Instagram bios, it's everywhere, and send in your dilemmas, questions, stories. It can literally be anything. It could be literally as simple as, like, what we had today, like, how do I have sex with a girl? How do I know a girl's flirting with me? It can be a full-on juicy dilemma. You know, the pregnant, we had the bridesmaid story last week. I'm still not over that. Everything is welcome. Nothing is off limits. Everything is also anonymous. There is no way I can figure out who sends stuff in, which we learned from when I was getting trolled, even though the trolling stopped, which makes it even more clear who it was, because the trolling was coming when I was seeing a specific person, and now it stopped. So it's pretty obvious who you are. Should I just shout out their name? No, that would be bad. But I know they're watching. I know you're probably still watching this. So yeah, I'm not saying any more on that matter. But yeah, send in your dilemmas, send in your questions, send in your stories. Follow the podcast on Instagram and TikTok at thelesbianlounge.podcast. You can follow me on socials at Juliet Francis T, not Juliet Francis. I might change my Instagram name because it's stressing me out that everyone thinks I'm called Juliet Francis T. It's Juliet Francis T. T for Taylor. What else can you do? You can give us a review, you can rate us, you can subscribe, you can all the good things. Leave us a comment, send us a message, a DM, anything you want. Thank you guys so much for listening. I love you all so much. And I'll see you all next Thursday for a brand new episode. I love you all so much. Bye.